Hey guys, you're tuning in to the Mina B Podcast. It's your girl, Mina B, and I'm back with yet another fun-filled episode. So, where to find me? At the Mina B Podcast over on IG. We are live on multiple platforms for your listening pleasure, like iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. We are now on Pandora. So, yeah, all the links are in the bio, so be sure to check me out. So yes, guys, I am back. Last week I took a little break. It was Christmas. I definitely had an episode slated, and I was just like, y'all, I just couldn't make it happen. But I was like, I have to make sure that I drop this one for you guys. This week, we are embarking on a new year, and kudos to everybody. Kudos to you, because you made it through 2020, okay, y'all? Like, we are actually here. We've survived this crazy ass year. I mean, like, I don't even know where to start, where to begin, where to end. Like, I literally function on 3 weeks of planning at a time, because this whole entire year has just been like, oh, your plans do not exist. You gotta pretty much wing it day to day. And, yeah, I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just been super, super crazy. So I want to kick off this episode with a quote. We must be willing to get rid of the life that we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. The old skin has to be shed before the new one can come. This quote is by Joseph Campbell. And I like the quote because, as many of you guys know, I came into the new year like, all right, boom, I'm going to make my little work-life balance work. I'm going to expand on the Mina B Podcast show. Just so many things that I had slated. And then March 13th, boom. Hey, you got to work from home. Hey, this pandemic is serious. Hey, COVID-19 is real life. Like, this is killing people. This is, making our data life functionalities totally opposite of what we're used to. And I embarked on the year like, you know what? I hate my job. I hate everything that I've worked so hard to maintain. I actually truly hate it. And then I was able to get my dream job, and lose that one because of COVID. And I think I was in such a horrible place between March and June. I had hit this high in January, February. We all were in this high, like 2020 is that year. Like we got it. It's lit. We just knew. We knew it was lit. Like, we knew this was gonna be our year. And then between March and June again, it was just, I was so anxious. My anxiety was through the roof. Everything just kind of like was slowly falling apart. We're at home. We can't see our families. Like, it was just a lot, y'all. Especially for me and for so many others. I mean, in comparison, I have been blessed. I will never ever sit here and be like, oh, this was the worst year of my life, because it has not. It has been such a blessing for me. And that's why I wanted to jump on and do this episode with you guys about, the 10 things that I've learned about 2020, because there's been so much that I've seen, not only with my life, but with others on social media and just in general. Like, we are in some really, really interesting times, and we have the opportunity in a window to transition and to really make things pop for ourselves, whether it's internally, whether it's financially. And I know the finance part is a little bit difficult because a lot of us have lost our jobs. I lost my job, but I was able to really get my shit together, save money, branch out, hustle, work on my businesses, work on a business plan for another business. I mean, and just put those focuses where I needed to put the focuses, okay? Because putting my focus in that corporate job was not it, and it took this year for me to really realize that. And even, interviewing and getting my dream job and not being able to do it, it also put a lot in perspective for me, because it said the universe was saying to me, hey, I'm kicking your butt. I'm pushing you out there because I need you to tap into who you really are and what it is that you need to be doing. You got some people that you need to meet. You got some time on your hands so that you can be more creative. I mean, the list goes on. So I wanted to jump in and talk about that. And also, like, I need everybody to understand something too. COVID is definitely our new normal. I think that there's this idea that when January 2021 hits, this is gonna go away. Joe Biden's gonna come into office, this is gonna go away. Like, I need y'all to stop. I need y'all to understand that the COVID and the way that we are living right now, masked up, this vaccine that just came out, all this stuff, guess what, guys? It's gonna be our normal. This is what we have going on now. This is what we have to acclimate ourselves to. And I've said this on past episodes, and I'm gonna continue to say it. With this pandemic, you have to do what's best for you and your family. You have to figure out what works best at during these times, because this is going to shape your new normal. This is going to shape your future. Period. That's just the bottom line. We can act like this is going to go away, but it's not going to go away for a while. And even when it does, the norms and the changes, even the government changes, even just how we function and travel, a lot of things are going to be a luxury that were common everyday things. So I really, really, really want y'all to understand this and really, really wrap your head around it. And I know planning ain't easy to do, but you can set the tone and set the goals and just try to pivot into what this new norm and this new life has for us, period. So let's just get right into it, y'all. The 10 things that I learned, that Mina B learned in 2020, okay? So number one, and I got my little handy dandy notebook, so I'm going to be referring to it. Desperation is a real thing, okay, y'all? I've seen so many different things happen during this pandemic. Again, we have had the highest numbers in unemployment in all the recessions, depression. Like, this has been record, okay? Even though the stock markets have been doing okay, real estate is still, doing well. There's been certain things that are just not right financially for a lot of people. A lot of people can't pay their rent. A lot of people can't pay their mortgages. So 2021 is going to be very indicative of how, a lot is going to going forward. And I'm seeing things. I'm sure you guys have seen things as well. And it's not only just finance. It's not only just, going through your job and, jobs scaling back or laying off or, making people part-time. It's so much more than that. It's like, there's like a need to not be alone. You know what I mean? Even though we're going through a pandemic that, a virus that you can catch, by speaking to someone and not social distancing and all of that. I think that a lot of people are super depressed right now. They're willing to do anything to be, noticed or to be with someone. And I think a lot of us have had, a lot of us have gone through a little bit of depression because quarantine, I ain't gonna lie, quarantine wasn't fun. Quarantine damn sure wasn't fun for me. I was miserable. I think what made it worse was that I was working a thankless job at the time and they just mishandled the whole entire thing. Like, obviously this was new for everybody, but they mishandled us so badly with the transition to working home. So it really, really harped on my anxiety and made me so uneasy. And I was really depressed. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I see a lot of drama. I see a lot of trolling on the internet. I see, just a lot of desperation and desperate things. And it's just sad. And I also see a lot of scamming. So not only, we're not going to talk about the unemployment scams, the loan scams, all of that government scams, because those are always here, but just little things with people, with businesses, ebooks, just so many little things. Y'all are harping on people who are impressionable, people who may need to find an alternative, who may want to go the entrepreneur route. Desperation is at an all-time high, and y'all got to be careful what y'all getting into, who y'all are dealing with. Do not be afraid to, Google a motherfucker. Let me know what's going on with you. Do you have, a record? Because people over here just taking your money and fucking around. And now is just not the time for that. So you got to be very, very open, check your checking account. Even if it's got $2 in your checking account, it does not matter. It's your $2. It's yours. So check it. Be cognizant of what's going on around you, because a lot of people are doing shady shit right now and taking this pandemic to, another level. And you got to protect what's yours, period, point blank, because desperation is definitely real. And just stemming off of that, number 2, people truly cannot sit with themselves. That's something that I learned, man. I like my alone time. I'm not gonna sit here and say like there were moments where I wish I was with my mom, during quarantine, stuff like that. I wish I had a boo, during the bulk of the quarantine. I think we talked about that on pandemic dating. Shout out to Medina of the Cocktails podcast. But, there were certain things that I noticed. I was just like, oh my God, like, damn, I really wish I had somebody for this. But I lived with being by myself. It was cool. It was what it was. When we started opening up, I started dating, started hanging out. But I've seen that some people really, really can't function by themselves. And they also, truly can't deal. Like, there were some people that I seen that was just always trying to find a way to go outside and just try to do things and can't, like, even right now, like, granted, some states like Georgia, the, city of Atlanta is pretty open. We're pretty open, right? But I mean, y'all out all day, every day. Y'all can't sit down because y'all homes ain't right. Your homes ain't right. That's something that I took a lot of pride in, just getting throw pillows, getting little things for the house just to make myself comfortable. Just and honestly speaking, just in case this shit happens again. Like, yeah, we opened up in phases, but God forbid, with how the coronavirus numbers are, rising, hospital beds, all this stuff is just happening all over again. Really and truly, which is stressful. You never know. Be prepared. So I noticed that some people probably didn't have their homes right or didn't want to sit with themselves because they have things that they need to deal with that they're not dealing with. So I did notice a lot of that stuff. And it's just like, y'all, again, these are different times for everybody. Y'all gonna have to start peeling back some of those layers and really trying to get to know who you are, what makes you tick, what works, what doesn't work, and grow. I can't tell y'all how much I've grown this year. If anything, if I did anything this year, is grow and mentally expand and just get shit together, get shit in order, because this shit ain't a joke. It's not a game. Also in y'all relationships, y'all were sitting at home with each other and it's like, damn, I probably should be alone because this motherfucker, I only see them about 6 hours a day. So for the other time that if they're at work and they're doing things, I'm not seeing the full scope of who they are. You know what I mean? So a lot of people had to stay at home with their spouse, stay at home with their kids, and both kids and spouses, and the depression and the upset and the seeing how dismantled the relationships are. A lot of y'all may need to be by yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all were filling voids by getting into these relationships and getting into these marriages that meant absolutely nothing when it really boiled down to it. When we really got into a serious situation, y'all are caving. Y'all are falling the fuck apart. And it's because y'all never were intentional and never took the time to really understand and get to know each other. And y'all seeing that scope in a 24-hour, a full day, because y'all are only with these people for small amounts of time because y'all work, y'all have things going on. So, baby, I'm just gonna leave it at that. If anything, y'all may have learned to be a little bit more intentional. Number 3, give yourself grace. Give grace. People are fighting battles that you don't know about. And I think with mental health, there was a lot of mental health topics and conversations that were had this year. And, again, being lonely, being by yourself, not really being able to deal with all of you, all of the things, not being able to see your family, a loved one, a sick loved one in the hospital, during the coronavirus. This shit wasn't easy. It wasn't fun. And, I think a lot of people didn't want to talk about the things that they were dealing with, didn't want to, didn't have anybody. So I say give grace. Give grace because you just never know what anybody has to go through or has to deal with. I think in listening to the show or just hearing me talk about it in passing, a lot of my friends didn't know that I had got let go from my job and all of that stuff. Baby, I just didn't reach out. I ain't say nothing. I said it to some people that were close to me, my family. I don't even think I told my dad like right away, because I was just dealing with it. Like, damn, I poured my heart into this shit for no reason. For no real reason, because I know I'm a good worker. I know I bust my ass. I know I get to it. I know I've built wonderful relationships in my scope of work. The people that work for me, we've built like long-lasting relationships, and COVID has dismantled all of that, and my company went about it in a shitty way. So that also fucked up some of the relationships that I had professionally as well. So, I'm just looking at motherfuckers all type of, side eye, like, fuck y'all, period. So yeah, again, I didn't talk to a lot of people about a lot of the stuff that I was going through. And, again, I wasn't a damsel in distress. Thank God. I was like, shit, I actually felt relieved, but it didn't make the first week of not going to work and not logging in on my computer easy. It was actually depressing. It was really depressing, because it was like, wow, you're that disposable because of everything that's going on out here in the world, So give grace, because again, you just never fucking know. People are going through it, mental issues, mental, distress, physical distress, because a lot of people, this virus is really scary for people who have pre-existing conditions. A lot of them can't work in an office, even if your office did open. Like, it's just certain things that we need to be mindful of and cognizant of. So with that being said, number 4, to spin off of giving grace, right? We give grace where grace is due, okay? Period. Let's be clear. However, when they show you who they are, please believe them. Because again, one thing that this pandemic has done, and the dismantling of us spending a lot of time together, doing things together, I feel like friendships and certain relationships have, dwindled a little bit. Again, a lot of people are going through their own things. But also, we've been in this now for what? 10 months? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, right? January, about to be January, 10 months. We've been going through this for about 10 months. The corona has been here in the States for over a year, right? Give or take. So now that we're in this, now we know what we're dealing with and how to move accordingly. And I want to say 6 months in, I want to say a calm, like, y'all knew what we was dealing with. Come August, September, October, we knew. Through the holiday season, we knew. So what I don't appreciate, and I'm gonna just call it out, what I don't appreciate is motherfuckers that wasn't fucking with you, wasn't checking up on you, wasn't calling you to see how your family was doing, how your mom was doing, but was kikiing on the internet. Kikiing on the internet, in comments. You seeing them. They're your friends, right? You seeing them. I'm seeing them. You're seeing them. Are we not? So don't come around the holidays talking about happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. Keep that. I don't care. Judge me if y'all want. Keep that shit. Because a consistent motherfucker is always going to comment, always going to hit you up. And even if they don't, they just interact with you enough. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say that social media has to become that norm in some of the friendships, but it is what it is. Some of us have kids. Some of us have relationships, marriages, whatever the case may be. So sometimes that's just the easier way. And we give grace to those who, function in that manner, but the communication is still the same. But when you ain't been communicating, when you just been lurking or ain't been saying nothing, don't hit me up. Don't hit Mina up. I'm not even going to hold y'all. I got a couple of messages, DMs, and text messages, and I'm going to be very honest with you. It wasn't no do not disturb. I don't even do not disturb to go to sleep. I don't even put guys, fellas, I don't even put them on do not disturb no more. I just block or just don't say nothing. I literally swiped across, delete, swipe across, delete. Act like I ain't see the message. I got friends in Europe. I got friends in Africa that I talk to more often than a motherfucker that lives in the States during all of this shit. And I'm passionate about it because it's like, y'all are unreal. Y'all are delusional. Please leave me alone. Please leave her alone. leave your friends alone, if you really don't fuck with them the long way. If you really don't got nothing to say, if you really not really just interested in really what's going on with them, their family life, their work life, what's up with you? Are you okay? How is your mental health? Are you good? But you want to, hey, hi, what's up? Want a link? No, I don't want a link. I don't, because that ain't genuine. You just want to be in a motherfucker's business. And this episode will be on YouTube, so feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think about this statement. You just want to be in a person's business. That's all that's about. Because again, everybody got stuff going on. And I know when we got stuff going on, we may fall off of each other a little bit, but it ain't never like 6-7 months. It ain't never that long where we're just like nah, I don't believe that. Nope. And if maybe I'm talking in terms of who I am, but as a friend, I know if something's off about my friend, I'm going to inquire. I ain't heard from him or her, I'm going to inquire. That's just me. And that's on period. So when they show their colors, their true colors, please believe them and don't believe them, period. Number 5, when in doubt, bet on yourself. Okay? I feel like during the pandemic and during this whole process, we've been really, really judgy on folks talking about, we need to be more productive. If you didn't come out of COVID with a business, the 2020 with a business, 2020 with a bag, you wasn't doing shit. Hold on, I gotta sip some coffee. That's bullshit because, again, mental health is a real thing. We all been going through so much this year, y'all. Come on. Don't do that. But I will say this. So it's just this, again, this whole overproductive idea, scratch that. It's ridiculous. One thing I've been able to do, and I talked about this in a previous episode with the girls from Fuckwork Podcast. Shout out to Natasha and Jenna. I took the structure of planning, and I'm not saying planning the future, because obviously planning the future and trying to it's just ridiculous at this point because we just don't know what's going on from one day to the next. But setting goals, daily goals, small things, and just chucking away at them on my list. I usually have a notebook like this, and I'll have my notes out and just what I want to do, or I put it in my calendar on my phone. So if I have to go to the mechanic, if I need to go to the doctor, if I need to go to Walgreens to pick up a light bulb, whatever it is, I'll put it in for that day, and I chuck away at the list throughout the day, especially on my off days. So it's helpful. I've been able to accomplish so much by just doing that. And you don't have to wait on nobody to start. Whether it's just a business idea, whether it's, testing some products because you want to start a lip gloss line, or testing jewelry. Y'all know I have a jewelry company, Lush85. It's at Lush85_ over on IG. Shameless plug. So, I have been able to test products. I was testing little products here and there, little, pieces here and there. I found, I do these lovely pendants, Buddhas, Goddess of Mercy, crucifixes, elephants, all these wonderful little trinkets and little pendants. And what I was able to do throughout quarantine, even if it took a couple of days, the mail wasn't bad during quarantine, so I was able to get things. I was testing out necklaces, testing out what worked, what didn't work, how it wore, and just making sure that I was able to put out a good product and definitely put out good sales throughout the holidays. Check me out. I started Lush85 2013, 2014, just about that, around that holiday season. And no, it was 2014 holiday season. And I never planned. I used to just buy, as a buyer, you would just go through your vendor list and go through your vendors and buy shit. So I did a lot of trial and error with trying vendors from New York, trying vendors from New Jersey, because at the time I was living in New York. Then I started trying vendors from China, and I was like, oh my God, that mail and trying to get things on time, because I never planned. Do you know the last year I planned my Christmas holiday like items, and this year I planned even more in advance because I had the time to do so. I was able to scope out what it was that I wanted to put in the store, and I was able to see them in person in advance. And then I knew some things. I was like, you know what, there's some things I know I'm going to sell out of. Let me get back up. So like when I do sell out of them, I'm going to have some re-up behind it. So I was able to accomplish a lot with Lush 85 this year, just off of the fact I was able to, plan in advance and be more intentional about how I was going about the collections, especially for the holidays, because obviously during the holidays, you're going to make more money. You're going to get more increase in sales and revenue, all that good stuff. So, give yourself that time. Bet on yourself. Don't wait on nobody to help you do nothing. If I had to wait on motherfuckers to start the Mina B Podcast, the Mina B Podcast would never be here. Period. Bet on yourself. Number 6. Just to spin off of that overworking culture and overproductivity culture. Overworking is overrated. I don't care what y'all say. It's overrated. And I'm also talking about even in your corporate job. Overworking is overrated. In your corporate job, killing yourself in your business, you have to give yourself grace as well. You also have to give yourself time. If you have a list and you've gotten through the whole list and maybe there's 2 things that you haven't done, yeah, they say don't save things for tomorrow, but also in order to be more effective and more efficient and make sure that you don't have errors or mistakes, you can put those 2 things on the top of your list for the next day. Give yourself grace. These are times where folks are just like stressed. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing it on Clubhouse. I'm hearing it in my conversations with my friends and colleagues and stuff like that. And I'm just like, damn, like, take a breather. Okay, y'all, take a breather. When you're like, this sleep when you're dead mentality is dead wrong. We have a virus that's outside. Any one of us can get it. I felt like I had it last year. You have to take care of yourself. You have to get rest. You have to take vitamins. You have to nourish your body. Okay? That I ain't eating, I ain't sleeping, I gotta get it, da-da-da. Cut it out. Give yourself some time. Reel it in, And then there's a whole lot of motherfuckers right now that's busy and not doing shit. Like, I'm busy. No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop it. Cut it out. Okay? This ain't it. In 2020, this ain't it. And we ain't carrying that fake busy shit into 2021. You got time. Relax. Okay? Relax. Number 7. What the hell did I write? Anyway, I was like, what did I write? Been doing this, but anyway, pray. That's what it was. Pray, affirm, and write things down. So I have a prayer book. I bought it at the top of this year. Well, not at the top of the year, maybe like 6 months ago, about around my birthday, which is usually my new year. I bought my prayer book, notebook, and I literally write my prayers down. My affirmations, I speak affirmations. I speak life into myself, into my family, constantly, consistently. Every new moon, I write new affirmations down. And sometimes I, go back a couple of pages to read those affirmations that I set. And even if it was for the month at a time, long-term affirmations, short-term affirmations, doesn't matter. Speak life over yourself. And I think I've been saying that around every New Year's for you guys. I always tell y'all, and I say this in other episodes, speak life, speak life, speak life, affirm, 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 affirm your abundance, affirm your happiness, all that good stuff. Don't, you can't put work out there in the world. Work without intention is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Work without faith, nothing, means nothing. Prayer without putting in work means nothing, okay? So you guys have to really, really take the time to get involved with your pen and your paper. Get involved with your pen and your paper. As y'all see, if y'all watching on the YouTube, I have the notes right here. I usually write my notes down and then put it on my laptop. But today I was just like, you know what? It's a little bit more personal, a little bit more intimate. This episode of the Mina B Podcast is being sponsored by my couch and my living room. I am sitting here nice and cozy, talking to you guys. And I just, it was just easier to have the pen to the pad and just, talk about this with you guys. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I was able to write down so many things this year. And even if the plans were a little messed up, because of COVID and all of that, I was still able to do certain things because of the short term goals that I set for myself. And I was really surprised at how much I was able to accomplish and the things that I've been able to do. Even if it's down to the business plan, like even if you know that there's something you want to start in 2021 or even in 2022, chip away at a little bit of it every day. If not every day, every week. If you come across an idea, put it in the notes in your phone. Y'all, your notes in your phone? Man, a lifesaver. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have so many resources and so many technologies and so many different ways to maneuver. Utilize them. Okay? Prayer without work is dead. It's not going to do nothing. It's not going to move. I don't want to get preachy. I don't want to get churchy on y'all, but a lot of us haven't tapped into our purpose. And what if 2020 was the perfect opportunity for y'all asses to sit down? Because I'm telling y'all right now, I was the model employee, okay? The model employee. I don't care what nobody say. So I always carried myself and handled myself in certain ways in my work, throughout any and everything that I do and any job that I've had, and throughout my career. So even bartending, I'm there's just certain things that I've learned and certain things that work and don't work. And, I like to be cognizant and on top of things with everything that I touch. So what if 2020 was an opportunity for you to really sit down with your thoughts and sit down with your processes and put it together? Even if you don't have the finances to start the said business, to start the podcast. I mean, you didn't have the $40 to get the mic or whatever it is, start on your phone. That's how the Mina B Podcast started. I started on my phone. Just record the majority of the first 2 years of the Mina B Podcast was recorded on my phone. And I even had to do an episode not too long ago on my phone because I had to get guests in and it was just easier to send them the link through Anchor FM. So we did it that way. So you again, write it down. I promise you, when you write it down, when you pray on it, when you just give it to God, give it to the universe, give it to spirit, whoever you pray to. I promise you. Things come full circle. Not the next day, not a week after, but when you're consistent, when you keep pushing forward, you'll see it come together. Period. And moving on. Number 8. I hate to sound like an old lady, but save for a rainy day. If anything this year taught us is to save for a rainy day. I saved my stimulus the first round. I'm more than sure I'm going to save it the second round. Don't be afraid to invest in things, and even investing in yourself, investing in the business if you have it, investing in some stocks. This was my first year investing in stocks. I'm 35. Cute though. Okay, get into it. But this was my first year investing in the stock market. I had some other little investments here and there. I don't even know what they're called. Like sometimes your company would divide them up and you different shares and stuff like that. I had that automatically, but I went in and started doing research and started following people on Instagram and learning a couple of little things and reading up on stocks and certain things. So I was able to do that. I was able to, invest in a little bit of Bitcoin. I'm not super, super deep into Bitcoin yet. It's still a small amount of money, but I'm learning these things and learning how to move forward. Right now I'm what I consider self-employed. So I was like, all right, I'm going to open an IRA. Well, I had opened an IRA and I just hadn't funded it. So I just started excited when I got let go from my job. That 401k was a small amount of money. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to roll it into a IRA and start adding to the IRA monthly, just like I would do it as if I was working. So if I was working in 100, 6% of my salary was coming out. So maybe it's like $100, $150, $200, whatever it was. I don't even remember, to be honest. It was coming out automatically and going into the 401k. So now I take $100 and it comes out automatically in my IRA. If I have some extra money at the end of the month, I add to the IRA. Done. That's your retirement. That's a great option for your retirement if you are self-employed. You can't just have your money sitting in a savings account all the time. You got to kind of finagle and kind of move things around. And I've definitely taken heed to that in 2020 because, again, we living in some fucking different times. You gotta move and shake. You got to make it pop for yourself. So don't be afraid to save for a rainy day, and don't be afraid to learn a little bit about investing and tapping into those arenas. Okay. Number 9, it's not all about you. It's just not. If anything I learned this year, it's just not all about me. It's not all about you. The self-absorbed, they don't get far. You guys have to learn how to cultivate real relationships, friendships, love, love on your people, man. If one thing I definitely have tried my best to do this year is to love on my folks, love on my friends, check in. I know I'm the strong friend, and sometimes I feel a way about certain things, but I also feel like I'm the strong friend for a reason. So my disposition and who I am as a woman is to always cover, is to always, push through. And I try to push through and make sure that my folks is good, that you good, you need something, like whatever it is. So yeah, it's not all about you. Think about others. Think about others. It's okay. It's okay to think about other people. It's okay to reach out. If that person crossed your mind, reach out to them. They ain't stabbed your mama. They don't owe you no money. They ain't really hurt your heart. Reach out. But I'm also don't, if they toxic now, I ain't saying don't reach out if they toxic. If a motherfucker toxic, leave them to the left. I already told y'all, if they showed your true colors, you know what to do. But if you have a good relationship, if you know that, this person means a lot to you, just cover your folks. Hold on to them, check on them. You got some extra means, your friend is struggling, hold this. You good. You get what I'm saying? Again, a lot of folks are not working. A lot of folks are going through a lot of different things. We got to step out of that mentality of self and be a little bit open to others, our friends, our family alike, period. And number 10, when God speaks to you, when the universe speaks to you, when spirit speaks to you, listen. If anything that I could take, I know I said it a couple of times, but anything I could take from 2020 was that I had to listen to the universe when it spoke. And I said this on previous episodes, me being let go from my job and me not being able to start my new job, my dream job. That was just something that was eye-opening to me. I was like, okay, I'm here. What you need me to do? That first week that I was let go from work, I literally laid on this couch and I watched all my shows. And I had a notebook and I just wrote things down. I put things into perspective. I tried to think of different ways to do things. I did some research. I just started just writing and thinking and formulating. And I was like, all right, I already got some stuff for the jewelry company. Boom. I got to add some more. Let me, look at that. I'm working on this project. I have this idea. Let me start looking for these things. Let me see if I could get an application so maybe I can order wholesale. Just certain things that I was thinking about. I reached out to a friend of mine who has a skincare company, and I was just asking her questions about, certain things that she had going on, like just tapping into different arenas and different people who have different experiences, because I was trying to figure out, all right, boom, what avenues that can I get into, because I have these ideas, I have these things written down on paper that I haven't been able to put forth because I worked a 9 to 5, because my job was so demanding. Now I have the time. Let me take this window of opportunity and try to put it together to the best of my ability and do it at my own pace. I ain't in a rush. I ain't in a competition with nobody. None of that shit. None of it. Like, just listen to the universe. Listen to your body. Listen to everything that's going on around you. Y'all, I said this the other day on my one of my IG posts. When I don't want to, I simply don't. If it's not fucking up a bag or messing up a check, if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. I think there was been a lot of times where we were in the rat race and we were just trying to compete with each other and just trying to look like we were busy and look like we got stuff going on. Baby, that has stopped. I've been able to do so much this year, but there's also times where I take for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because mental health is real. Rest and resting and recharging yourself is real, and y'all have to really take heed to that. And that's something that I've definitely taken heed to. I think my sleep pattern is a little fucked up, but when I need to take a nap, I schedule a nap. I might take a nap after this damn episode, okay? Period. But I'm just like, you gotta take that time for yourself. You got to, I've been saying this whole episode, give yourself and others grace. I can't stress it enough. And that's just that. When you want to do something, get up and do it. Don't wait on nobody. You want to go try that new restaurant, don't nobody want to go with you? Pull up, make a reservation, get it cracking. We got another part of this 2020 lifestyle is that, and I hate to say it 2020 lifestyle, but it is a 2020 lifestyle when you think about it, because 2020 has just been the most weirdest year. It's been the most unstructured, unconventional year that I've ever had, and that my friends and my family has ever had. So, there's also this notion of how much death has occurred in this country. If you don't know someone who passed away from the virus, you know of someone whose family, relative, brother, cousin, niece, whatever, it's all around us at this point. If your family hasn't been touched by it, amazing. God bless y'all. You know what I'm saying? But there's also an air of, don't stress yourself out, don't kill yourself, but also do what makes you happy. Do what feels good to you. Do what's best for yourself and your family. I can't stress that enough. If I want to go eat at the brand new restaurant on Peachtree, I'm going to eat at that brand new restaurant on Peachtree. If I want to order the clothes, I'm going to order the clothes. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I haven't been limiting myself on anything that I want because of preconceived notions. The bill's going to get paid. It's going to happen. God willing. God is good. Like, that's it. So with that being said, y'all, there's been so many things that we've learned from 2020, that I've learned from 2020, and I've definitely wanted to share them with you guys. Just as a year in review for the show, I'm so grateful and so thankful for the guests that I've been able to have on the show, the collaborations, the people that I've met and networked with under these really, really crazy circumstances that 2020 have brought us. I'm full. I'm blessed. I was able to start the YouTube channel. I'm here on YouTube right now talking to you guys on this episode. 10 things that Mina has learned in 2020. And I'm not a camera person at all. And I know that was a hurdle that I had to jump. That was something that was like nagging me in the background. And I was just like, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be on camera. But here I am. I'm doing it. I launched the channel 2 months ago, and I am super proud of myself. And I have so much more in store content-wise for you guys. Like, man, sky's the limit on that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, any inquiries, any ideas for the show or content that you would like to see me bring about, or conversations that you want me to tackle with a friend, with my, future guest host, whatever it is, let me know. 2021, I have a lot of things in store for the Mina B Podcast and for my brands. And I'm so thankful and so happy that you guys have been rocking with me for so long on this journey. And I wish the happiest of New Year's to you guys all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for fucking with the show. If you do fuck with the show, please be sure to rate RATE and subscribe, leave comments. Feel free to hit me up over at the Mina B Podcast page on IG. And I'm over on Clubhouse as well at Mina B. That's pretty much all I had for you guys on this week's episode. And 2020 has been interesting. So I wanted to drop those tidbits for y'all, and I hope that you guys have found pleasure in them. I know some of those things you wanted to hear, some things you may not have wanted to hear, but again, thank you guys so much for tuning in and fucking with the show this whole entire year. And I pray over you guys and your families, and more to come. So thanks so much, and bye.